Hey, what's up? You might have heard that drum machines are quite famous within techno. People always seem to proclaim that their machines are alive and that they sound way better than the digital alternatives. Well, I got a tool for you in Ableton Live. It's called Round Robin, and that will help you to get those sounds always in your productions, even though you don't have to own these machines. So let's check it out. So let's do this. We have our loop. And I want to insert a clap, and I can also load a sample into a sampler. But now I have recorded several takes of the same clap with an analog drum machine, and in this case that's the Vermona. And if I play it, you'll hear that every time the clap hits, it sounds slightly different. And I want to use that to make it fit to my arrangement and my rhythms, but I don't want to lose these variances that are there from every time the clap hits. And you might wonder, why is it that it sounds different every time? Well, most of these analog drum machines are circuitry based and not sample based. So every time the sound is generated, there's a whole lot of factors that can impact the sound. And in this case, it could be that the machine was on for quite a while, or that it was just turned on. These things can have an impact on the sound that it eventually produces. And therefore, you never have the same sound exactly the same. Whether if we load in a sample, then we know every time the same sample will be hit. So what you can do here, you can slice it to a new MIDI track, do it on half notes, because now I've triggered on each half note, I've triggered the clap. But you can also do it on transient or warp marker or whatever works for you. And then it maps out each sample to one of these slices. And you can normalize them and crop them so they fit into the timeline more specifically. And I've done that already here. And here you can see that every time I select a different sample, you can see that sonic variance within each sample. And that is exactly what we're looking for. And now I'll play an example where I'm only hitting the same clap each time. I've added a little reverb so the tail end comes out better, so you can hear the differences eventually. So this is a round robin generator or a MIDI effect. Since we have 16 slides, I selected 16 choices, and every time I hit a C1, which is this clap is mapped to, it will add with 100% chance an additional value towards it. So eventually it will select one of these 16, and I've added a -1 pitch shifter here because I also wanted to hit the clap 1. I want to make use of all the samples, not only clap 1, otherwise it will do 1 plus one of these 16, and then I'll miss that sample maybe. So this is what it sounds like. A lot better. You can see it picks out a random number every time, and if we play rapid notes in succession, you hear it a lot better. So if I arm it. And in context, it sounds a lot better. So I've created here a little riff that to fill it in once in a while when we play our beat, our track. And it's these subtle details that will bring your track up to that next level. And you could also even map this to a sample selector that I explained in the previous episode, where you can map different of these randomizers towards multiple claps that you have. So you can select from a variances of claps, and then you can even make it with variances on those claps. And there's a lot of sample manufacturers that make these packs if you don't have analog machines, but you can also rent an analog machine or borrow it from a friend maybe. and just record a whole lot of takes and then load them into your projects. And so you can load them up whenever you want on the fly, and you don't need these machines to carry them around. So I think this is a good way for you to help get those analog sounds in your productions. Hey, thank you for watching. I hope you liked that video. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to check out my music, make sure to follow me on one of these handles. Until then, I'll see you next time.